from a neutral corner, your host, the undefeated heavyweight champion, Rocky Marciano, sparring with the greatest platoon sergeant in the history of television, the top banana himself, Phil Silvers.
Hey, Phil.
Come on, what are we doing here, pal?
Well, I'm just going over some of the great fights.
What fight are we going to see?
We're going to see the Floyd Patterson-Jimmy Slate fight. That was a real good one.
Now, what are we doing here? I mean, you get me here, I'm ready to talk, ready to sit up straight. What's your tie? This is television. You got to look nice. Head up, erect, straight. You're a nice-looking fellow when you sit up straight. Now, watch. What?
Phil, you're not the top banana here, you know.
Oh, I forgot.
By the way, Phil, top banana, what does it really mean?
Well, Rock, that comes from an old burlesque expression. You see, the comedians were referred to as bananas. I don't know how it started, except there was a scene that had to do with bananas. You take one, I'll take one. And the guy that got the third banana in this particular scene was very unimportant. So from that day on, the guy that was unimportant was referred to as the third banana. Of course, second comic was the second banana. You know who was the top banana. You're looking at him. Look at me when I'm talking to you, Rocky.
Right.
Don't never touch the suit, please. After all, you are a fighter, and I'm very dignified.
Phil, as Sergeant Bilko, you were the toughest sergeant I've ever seen. Now, I had one that was not quite so tough. The one thing we fighters loved about you, you used every fighter you could in those series.
That's
Tell me,
true.
Are they any good as actors?
They're very good. I tell you, we had a namesake of yours, was our casting director, Rocky Marciano. He used to bring the boys from the gym. Like one day he came by with a boy named Walter Cartier, who he said was very good as a fighter, but had it. And he would like to have seen him quit, you know, because before he got hurt, he had made a good name for himself. What was remarkable about these fighters, Lou Nova, a kid named Frankie Riff, right down the line, all their adult life, or the beginning of their adult life, they took direction. You know, a manager or a trainer saying, keep me your left hand. No, circle around. Get down the road today. Jump around a little more. Punch the bag. So they were used to direction. And Nat Hiken, who directed our series, would tell them what to do, and without any question, they would do it. And I thought, in many cases, they were better than these method actors. Of course, you know, I'm a big sports fan, and between shots, it was a lot of fun talking to these kids.
I know you're a great sports fan, Phil. In fact, Barney Ross often told me how you'd like to watch the boys work out, and how one time he asked you to put the gloves on with him, and I believe you did pretty good.
Oh, yes, I fainted about a minute and a half from hitting nobody, and nobody hit me. I was spitting cotton for about 20 minutes. That erased any thought in my mind that I could be a fighter. Say, Rock, these fights are very interesting, and how are you enjoying doing this series?
Gee, I like it so much.
Hold that, just a minute. You're the star of the show. There's no word G. I'm quite pleased. You say it with dignity. You're the head man here.
I'm quite...
No, don't muffle your words. Watch it. Get loose with your diction. I'm quite pleased.
I'm quite...
Take a breath before you speak so you have, and get this in. How do you feel?
I'm quite pleased.
That's very good. Quite pleased is very good.
Pleased.
Excellent is a good word to use.
Excellent.
Yes, and you got to fix your hair a little. Because, Rocky, you're very important. This is television. You got to look good, you know?
Gee, thanks.
Have you had some big... You said G. Why did you say
quite
G?
Pleased.
Quite
I won't
pleased.
Do it again.
That's it. Watch that. And another thing that's very important, whenever I do this, remember, never hit back. It's very serious. Okay.
I'd like to digress here, and let's talk...
Oh, you've come along. Digress. Remember, see how I've helped you?
I hope you'd pick that up.
Yes. Very good, Rocky.
You know,
You're getting to be like Gene Tunney.
Not quite. But, Phil, in baseball, you know, I wanted to be a big league catcher. And in a couple of those fights, I thought I was back to playing ball again.
Yes, I saw.
But I like...
Archie Moore pitched very good that second round.
Walcott wasn't a bad pitcher.
True. But somehow or other, the catcher stayed a little long. Usually, it's the pitcher that goes to the shower.
Phil, would you think that within 3 years, this young light heavyweight would become the heavyweight champion of the world?
Well, I couldn't be that bold and say 3 years, but I knew he was going to be some kind of a champ. I followed him, you know, I knew his record in the Olympics, and he's a dedicated fighter, always in shape, which a lot of kids don't do. Like, he really wanted to be a top fighter. And, Rock, what's the limit, you know, when they're under 21?
Yes, Phil, they fight 8 rounds.
8 rounds. Well, I saw him in all those 8 rounds. He used to fight in Brooklyn a lot. He became a big favorite. But there's an example of you're going to choose a profession, give it your all. And this kid's always in shape. Of course, he does some weird things once in a while, leaping with the right-hand lead. But he overcome a lot of that by being in shape and caring about it, you know?
Phil, a top banana, a platoon sergeant, call it what you want. You're a main eventer in every book, and you sure know what it means to keep punching. I want you to have this little memento, a pair of golden gloves to remind you to keep punching, and you'll always stay a main eventer.
Thanks very much, Rock. It'll be a very nice memento of our visit.